Today we are going to discuss about the two houses of parliament, the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. I was picking up those topics which are usually not commonly dealt or found in any books. Lok Sabha versus Rajya Sabha is a very important topic. It is usually asked both from the prelims and the mains perspective. What do we discuss under Lok Sabha versus Rajya Sabha? Right from their composition, their purpose, their similarities and differences. This is what we usually discuss with respect to Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Let's begin with this. What do we understand by composition? Now, the composition in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha is not same. The way it is formed is also not same. Now let's compare Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha. Remember that Rajya Sabha is indirectly elected. Okay, we use the system of proportional representation through single transferable vote, whereas this is directly elected. So, first past the post system is used. It's better you write them if you're writing in a descriptive format. Proportional representation, first past the post system. Okay, please remember that the voters here are elected MLAs of the state. Okay, whereas here the voters are people at large, voters, registered voters of a constituency. So, registered voters of a constituency will vote. Now, another important point is Rajya Sabha will have 252, but in effect 245 seats. Okay, out of which 233 are elected, indirectly elected, whereas 12 seats are nominated. Earlier in Lok Sabha, we had the system of nomination because we gave special representation to Anglo Indians. Now it is no longer there. So we have, in effect, 545 seats, out of which two were nominated but no longer nominated. Now we don't have this. This has been discontinued. So we have, by the 104 amendment, 543 seats which are directly elected. Okay, now let's look at the purpose of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. What is the purpose of Lok Sabha? What is the purpose of Rajya Sabha? As the name goes, Rajya Sabha is the council of states. Okay, please remember it is very, very important to voice the opinion of the states. It is a very important feature of federal system of government, federalism in India. It gives a voice to the opinion of the states. The states are involved in the activities, decision making by the center through Rajya Sabha. And that is the reason why Rajya Sabha, it is MLAs who elect, whereas Lok Sabha is to voice the people of the country. So it gives a voice to the general public at large. That is the reason it is called House of People. Having Lok Sabha is a feature of democracy. We say India has democracy because we elect our representatives. How do we elect our representatives? Through voting. Where do these representatives sit? In Lok Sabha? Therefore, it is a feature of democracy. If I have to be more specific, I'll say it is a feature of parliamentary democracy because the ministers are collectively responsible to Lok Sabha. So, this is about the composition and the purpose. And remember, Lok Sabha has each member has its own has his or her own constituency. So these are single member constituencies. This concept I have explained earlier in another session. What is a single member constituency? What is a multi member constituency? Whereas Rajya Sabha is a multi member constituency. Okay, these are the differences between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha in terms of composition and their purpose. Now, moving forward, what about their similarities and dissimilarities? See, firstly, let's understand, continuing with composition and purpose, let's understand the leaders of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Now, what do I mean by Rajya Sabha leaders, Lok Sabha leaders? Please remember, I mean who heads them. Remember that Rajya Sabha is headed by the Vice President of India. He is the chairman, ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha, and deputy chairman is elected from amongst the members, by the members from amongst themselves. Whereas Lok Sabha, both the speaker and deputy speaker are elected. And remember, speaker is very powerful. The post of speaker is very powerful. In fact, I'll take a separate session on the office of the speaker. Okay, so leaders, we go with this. Now, moving on to the next thing that we have to discuss. We have to understand about the similarities between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Remember that Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha will have equal powers. LS is equals to RS in cases of ordinary bills whenever they want to make a statute. In case of constitutional amendments, here also they have equal powers. In case of impeachment of the president, if you want to remove the president, okay, in case of impeachment of president, removal of CAG judges and so on, of CAG judges, in case of removal of public service commission chairman members, it could be UPSC, it could be state PSCs, they will have the same power. So Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha will have the same powers when it comes to all these. To a large extent, it functions in the same manner, the same parliamentary procedures are applicable. However, where are they different? Lok Sabha versus Rajya Sabha differences, very, very important. See, this is a synopsis of all this. I would request you all to please write this, because this is a quick answer that you can frame if at all there is a question in your descriptive exams on Lok Sabha versus Rajya Sabha. Remember, in terms of parliamentary procedures, there are certain procedures that are exclusive to Lok Sabha, not followed in Rajya Sabha, like adjournment motion. Okay, I'm talking about adjournment motion, not adjournment. Like no confidence motion, like censure motion. Okay, these are exclusive to Lok Sabha. They are not followed in Rajya Sabha. Okay, in terms of bills, Lok Sabha has more powers. This all comes under Lok Sabha. Has more powers with respect to money bill. When it comes to money bill, Rajya Sabha can only discuss and recommend, but cannot approve. Okay, recommend but cannot approve. I forgot one more point. Please remember, in terms of creation or abolition of state legislative council, creation abolition of state legislative council, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha will have equal powers. Why is this very important? Because I said Rajya Sabha represents federalism in India, it represents states in India. Therefore, Rajya Sabha will not have any extra power as far as creation or abolition of state legislative council is concerned. Okay, moving forward, Rajya Sabha can discuss and recommend. When it comes to the appropriation bill, it is also approved by the Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha does not have any special power. States reorganization bill, both will have the same power, but I have not written states reorganization bill here separately, primarily because states reorganization bill comes under ordinary bills. Now moving forward, Lok Sabha versus Rajya Sabha. Where does Rajya Sabha have better standing in comparison with Lok Sabha in matters related to the states, like creation of All India services? Okay, All India services, it has to be approved by Rajya Sabha. Likewise, declaring a subject or in state list as a as subject of national importance. This also comes under the power of Rajya Sabha. Another important, I am using different pens so that you can differentiate. Another very important is initiating removal of Vice President of India, initiating removal of VP of India. You can do it only in Rajya Sabha. You cannot do it in Lok Sabha. Likewise, Lok Sabha has a special power when it comes to emergency. Lok Sabha can revoke national emergency by approving it with a simple majority. If it is approved in Lok Sabha, it can be revoked. National emergency can be revoked. Now, in terms of tenure and term, we have to remember here, I'm writing it. Please remember term and tenure. Rajya Sabha will have, it's a permanent house, cannot be dissolved. It provides continuity, it provides stability because it cannot be dissolved, can't be dissolved. And remember, Rajya Sabha goes for elections once in every 2 years, one third elected every 2 years, elected every 2 years. Whereas in Lok Sabha, please remember, it is a house which has tenure of 5 years. Each term will have a tenure of 5 years. Okay, and remember, it is dissolved. When it completes its tenure, it is automatically dissolved. Otherwise, if the executive does not have the majority, the government of the day does not have the majority, no alternative available, it can be dissolved. So these are the very most important points with regard to Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. And I really don't know if you are aware, when it comes to the voting also, here we follow secret ballot. There is no compulsion that you have to till date. I have never told anybody to whom I voted in elections because it is secret ballot. But in Rajya Sabha elections, it is open ballot. That is the reason whenever there is cross voting, you can easily make out in Rajya Sabha elections. So these are the key points with regard to the differences between Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Very important topic. I hope this information will be useful for you. It is absolutely sufficient to write a 10 to 15 marks answer. This has been asked earlier in UPSC mains. It is equally important for prelims because you should know what is used where. So this is about the differences. I'll see you tomorrow with a new topic. Thank you and bye-bye.